Hey everyone, picture this. Four of Hollywood's most legendary stars standing shoulder to shoulder. Brad Pitt, Will Smith, Robert Downey Jr., and Morgan Freeman. All icons, all household names, each one with a career that shaped the film industry in different ways. But today we're not here to debate who's the best actor or whose movies are the most beloved. We're here to talk about money. Cold, hard Hollywood money. So, the big question is, who's the richest among them? Who has earned the most from blockbuster salaries, producing credits, endorsements, and even smart investments outside of Hollywood? And maybe more importantly, how did they build that fortune and what does it tell us about their careers? Stay with me until the end, because after we break down their wealth, I want to hear your opinion. Do you think net worth really shows who the true Hollywood king is, or does legacy matter more? Let's find out. Let's start with Brad Pitt, often considered one of the most bankable stars of all time. As of 2025, Brad Pitt's estimated net worth is about $400 million, putting him at the top of this list. But this number didn't come overnight. Brad first rose to stardom in the early 1990s with films like Thelma and Louise, Legends of the Fall, and Seven. By the mid-90s, he was already one of Hollywood's top leading men, commanding millions per role. Movies like Fight Club and Troy weren't just cultural milestones, they were also huge paychecks. For example, his salary for Troy reportedly crossed the $20 million mark. But acting alone doesn't explain Pitt's wealth. What really sets him apart is his work as a producer. Alongside Jennifer Aniston and later others, he co-founded Plan B Entertainment. This production company has been behind critically acclaimed award-winning films like 12 Years a Slave, Moonlight, and The Big Short. Each success added millions to Pitt's fortune, not from acting, but from producing. On top of that, Brad Pitt is known for owning a stunning portfolio of real estate. Over the years, he has invested in luxury homes across Los Angeles, France, and even New Orleans. His French estate, Chateau Miraval, not only became famous because of his marriage to Angelina Jolie, but also as a successful winery business. Wine sales from that estate have reportedly brought in significant profits. Of course, Pitt also benefits from residuals, brand endorsements, and his undeniable staying power in Hollywood. Even in his 50s and 60s, he's still landing major roles and producer credits. It's this combination of acting salaries, business ventures, and real estate that firmly secures his position near the top. Next up, let's talk about Will Smith, one of the most versatile entertainers in Hollywood history. Will Smith's estimated net worth is around $350 to $375 million as of 2025. He built this fortune through a mix of film, television, music, and business. Smith began as a rapper under the name The Fresh Prince, and then shot to TV fame in the hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That TV run alone didn't make him a millionaire, but it gave him the global recognition that set up his film career. By the late 90s and early 2000s, Will Smith had become the king of summer blockbusters. Independence Day, Men in Black, I, Robot, Hancock, I Am Legend, the list goes on. For many of these films, Smith earned salaries of $20 million or more. In some cases, like Men in Black 3, back-end deals allowed him to earn tens of millions beyond his base pay. Music also played its part. While his rap career might not bring in huge sums today, royalties from classic tracks like Gettin' Jiggy With It and Summertime still add up. Smith has also been heavily involved in producing. He's worked behind the scenes on projects ranging from movies to television shows, often alongside his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and his children. His company, Overbrook Entertainment, has produced films like The Pursuit of Happiness and Hitch. Endorsements and social media also contribute. Will Smith has mastered platforms like YouTube and Instagram, attracting sponsorships, partnerships, and ad revenue. At one point, he was one of the most followed celebrities online, which turned into millions of dollars in digital influence. Of course, Will's career has faced challenges. The infamous Oscars incident in 2022 did impact his public image and led to some paused projects. However, his long history of success and multiple income streams mean his fortune remains intact. Will Smith is proof that diversifying from music to movies to digital can create an empire worth hundreds of millions. Now let's turn to Robert Downey Jr., whose story might be one of the most dramatic financial turnarounds in Hollywood history. Today, his estimated net worth is about $300 million. But if you rewind to the 1990s, Downey's career was nearly destroyed by personal struggles and legal troubles. He was once uninsurable in Hollywood, meaning no studio wanted to take the financial risk of casting him. So how did he go from that low point to becoming one of the richest actors in the world? The answer is simple: Iron Man. In 2008, Marvel Studios took a gamble casting Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. That gamble paid off big, both for Marvel and for Downey. His initial salary for Iron Man wasn't astronomical, but as the Marvel Cinematic Universe exploded, his paycheck skyrocketed. By the time Avengers Endgame rolled around in 2019, Robert Downey Jr. reportedly earned more than $75 million for that single film, thanks to back-end deals and profit sharing. Across his entire Marvel run, estimates suggest he made well over $200 million. Outside of Marvel, Downey has continued to land big roles. His Sherlock Holmes films with Guy Ritchie brought in solid earnings. And more recently, he starred in Oppenheimer, which won him critical acclaim and an Academy Award. In addition to acting, Downey has invested in production and technology ventures. He and his wife, Susan Downey, run a production company, Team Downey, which works on both film and TV projects. Robert Downey Jr.'s wealth is a perfect example of how one iconic role can completely change an actor's financial destiny. From a nearly bankrupt career to hundreds of millions of dollars, Downey's story is both inspirational and a reminder of Hollywood's power. Finally, we have Morgan Freeman, the voice of authority, wisdom, and calm. Morgan Freeman's estimated net worth is around $250 million. While this puts him fourth on our list, it's still an incredible sum built on decades of hard work and consistency. Freeman's acting career spans over 50 years. He started gaining recognition in the 1980s with films like Street Smart and Driving Miss Daisy. But it was the 1990s that cemented his legacy. The Shawshank Redemption, Seven, and Deep Impact are classics that not only paid well at the time, but continue to bring residual income through re-releases, streaming, and licensing. One of Freeman's biggest financial advantages is his voice. He has one of the most recognizable voices in the world, and he has used it brilliantly. From narrating documentaries like March of the Penguins to lending his voice for commercials, Freeman's narration work has been an ongoing source of income. Few actors can say their voice alone is worth millions, but Freeman can. He's also directed films, produced projects, and invested in real estate. Unlike some celebrities, Freeman has lived a relatively balanced lifestyle, avoiding the extravagant spending that drains wealth. His steady approach has helped him build and maintain his fortune. Even today, in his 80s, Freeman continues to work in both film and narration. His longevity proves that a consistent career, even without blockbuster salaries, can lead to a $250 million net worth. So now that we've gone through each star individually, let's line them up side by side. Brad Pitt, about $400 million. Will Smith, about $350 to $375 million. Robert Downey Jr., about $300 million. Morgan Freeman, about $250 million. That makes Brad Pitt the wealthiest of the four, followed by Will Smith, then Robert Downey Jr., and finally Morgan Freeman. But here's where it gets interesting. Money isn't the only measurement of success. Brad Pitt might be the richest, but Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback story is legendary. Will Smith has built an empire across multiple industries, and Morgan Freeman has one of the most respected careers in all of Hollywood. In other words, wealth is only part of the picture. Each of these men is rich in different ways: money, legacy, influence, or iconic roles. So now it's your turn. Which of these four do you think has managed their fortune the smartest? Did the rankings surprise you? And if you had to choose, who do you believe deserves the crown? The richest in dollars or the richest in legacy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your opinions, and I can't wait to see what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.